Hi, and welcome back to Kimberly Grace's Stories podcast. I'm Kimberly, and I want to thank all my listeners for tuning in to hear my stories. Today, you're in for a special treat as we hear my latest short fiction story, Escaping New Year's. Are you sure you're not coming with me? Mia heard her roommate Emma's question floating sweetly out of their shared dorm room. She was currently sitting on the couch in the small living room under a pile of blankets. The warmth and merriment of Christmas had passed, and now there were only gray skies and plunging cold temperatures. She tucked herself in tighter and pretended not to hear Emma. Part of her felt guilty for not joining her friend for a night out in the town to ring in the new year, but she remained resolute in her decision not to partake in the revelry this year. How could she, especially after the year she had experienced? Nope, Mia was content to let 2025 slip away and hopefully become a long-faded memory sooner rather than later. Emma appeared just then in the doorframe. She looked beautiful, as always, wearing a shimmering, sparkly gold dress matched with just the right gold high heels. Emma looked like a trophy topper. Mia stifled a laugh at that thought and instead held two thumbs up from under her blanket cave. She felt the whole couch shake when Emma plopped unceremoniously down beside her. She had that puppy dog look plastered on her face, the very one she always pulled out when she wanted someone to do something for her. Mia, you can't stay in. It's New Year's Eve, for goodness sake. What if you miss your chance of finding true love at midnight? The pile of blankets snorted and cackled in response. Mia popped her head out just enough so Emma could see her serious expression. She knew her friend meant well, but her mind was absolutely made up. There was nothing she could say that would change it. Emma, I appreciate your concern about my love life. Really, I do. But you of all people should know that is the last thing I need right now. I'm not ready. Not ready? It's been 6 months. Gabe has already moved on. You need to show him that you have too. Nope, not gonna happen. Emma jumped up off the couch so fast that it nearly caused Mia to fall to the floor. She resettled her nest of blankets and picked up the remote from the coffee table. Her pizza would be arriving shortly, and she was about to watch a movie marathon of all of her favorite Christmas movies, starting with her all-time favorite, It's a Wonderful Life. Mia ignored Emma's huffing and fake pouting performance. Mia Gertrude Patrone, you are going to end up all alone if you stay in. Who are you going to meet here? George Bailey is not going to climb from the television screen and rescue you. Nearly spitting out her gulp of water, Mia stifled another laugh. Emma could be quite the drama queen when she wanted to be, but even that had to be hilarious sounding to her. Emma let out a giggle, but then immediately switched her expression back to serious. It was a good thing she was a theater major, Mia pondered. Fine, suit yourself. I hope you, George, and the blanket blob monster will all be very happy together. Mia watched as her roommate hurried across the room to retrieve her purse from the chair near the door. Then, after slipping on her cozy designer black jacket, she watched as Emma disappeared out the front door, not before flipping her curly brown hair back and blowing a kiss to Mia. Right on cue, Mia pretended to catch it, and just like that, it was finally quiet in their apartment. After fluffing her blanket nest one more time, Mia settled in and turned on the movie. She had just made it through the beginning credits when the doorbell rang. Reluctant to leave her comfy haven, the thought of a warm, delicious pizza from Michelangelo's finally lured her out of her warm comfort briefly. Mia shoved on her pink fluffy bunny slippers and tightened her Winnie the Pooh bathrobe as she shuffled her way across the room to answer the door. She prayed that the delivery person had left the pizza at the door per her detailed instructions. Mia was in no mood to make small talk with anyone else today, let alone have them judge her childlike attire. She didn't care what they would think, though, as honestly, Mia cared more about wearing what made her happy. That was the era she wanted to head into in the new year, her comfort era. However, when Mia raised up onto her tippy toes, she groaned internally to not only see a person standing there waiting, but it was a young man who had an air of familiarity about him. Mia debated asking him through the door to leave the pizza, but ultimately decided to open it when he started knocking again, this time even louder. Mia flung open the door and immediately stretched out her hands to reach for the pizza. The young man's eyes grew wide when he took in Mia and her unique attire. Unfortunately for Mia, he moved the pizza box back and out of her reach. Whoa, not feeling well, Mia? It makes sense now why you weren't in class this morning. Mia's mouth dropped open in shock. Not only did this boy know who she was, but he apparently was also in one of her classes. Mia tried to rack her brain as to who he was and which class. Unfortunately, nothing was ringing a bell, and even worse, the young man was quite handsome. Mia felt her cheeks immediately flushed red from embarrassment as the cute guy laughed softly. It's okay. I sit way in the back. I'm Josh. Josh Bolt. Oh, hi, Josh. And I'm sorry, what class is it again? History. You're really good at remembering dates. Mia opened her mouth and gaped a little. Another wave of heat rose through her body. It was already embarrassing enough that she didn't really remember him, let alone that he probably only sees her as a know-it-all. Yes, well, I like dates. Josh flashed a smile while Mia felt a wave of horror wash over her. She could not understand why she was acting so silly in front of him. That's good to hear, Mia. I see you're not out on one, though, unless your date also likes to dress casually. He looked down at her pink character slippers and then landed on her bathrobe. Mia tried to tighten her robe more, but it did not help that the cord to close it was the black and orange tail of Tigger. Mia lunged for the pizza box once more, but Josh again held it up out of her reach. Just give me my pizza, please. I'm sure you want to finish your round so you can go party. Actually, I don't have any plans. Your delivery was my last stop for the night. Say, wait a minute. Is that George Bailey I hear? Are you watching It's a Wonderful Life? Much to Mia's surprise and annoyance, Josh pushed past her and walked into her apartment, handing her the pizza box as he passed by. He looked around the place and his eyes grew wide as they landed on the movie playing on the big television screen. Isn't it a little late to be watching Christmas movies, or are you just getting a head start on next year? Suddenly, Mia had had enough. This humiliation was the cherry on top of the worst year of her life. Her dad had a heart attack at the beginning of the year, then her beloved grandfather died in May, and to top it all off, her boyfriend of 5 years broke up with her in June. Mia had chosen not to go out tonight to avoid any further anguish. All she wanted was one night to escape, one night to not live in her current stressful and depressed life. She was crying so hard she did not even realize that Josh had come over and wrapped his arms around her. Mia, I'm so sorry. Please stop crying. I was just teasing, okay? It's a very nice way to spend New Year's Eve. I love It's a Wonderful Life. Honestly, it's actually my favorite Christmas movie. You're you're just saying that. Please leave me alone. Take the pizza. I'm not even hungry anymore. Mia pushed Josh away and crashed onto the couch. She placed a pillow over her head, shaking as she continued to cry silently. Mia heard Josh start to turn the doorknob, but then stop. I meant what I said, Mia. It really is my favorite. Mia stopped crying, but did not poke her head out of her cocoon. Even though she didn't know Josh, there was something about him that made her want to trust him. Yet her heart was so broken and fragile. She had promised herself not to make the same mistake she had made of her ex-boyfriend. He had pretended to like what she was interested in, but later Mia had found out that he had despised all her movie tastes and hobbies. He had even taken the appalling liberty of announcing all of her childish ways in front of their friends at a birthday party. She held her breath and wished Josh would just go away. What is it you want, Mia? The moon? Say the word, Mia. I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Mia's head emerged from her hiding spot. Her eyes were red and her cheeks were stained wet from tears. Josh walked over slowly and sat down next to her. He gently took a tissue and wiped her face. Mia, I have a confession to make. I don't work for Michelangelo's. My friend John does. He saw your name and let me know so I could deliver your pizza to you. Shaking her head, Mia blinked her tear-stained lashes in confusion. I don't understand. Why? Because I have a huge crush on you. I had one on the very first day I saw you in class. You were wearing a Winnie the Pooh hat that day, of course. Your boyfriend made fun of you for it, but I thought you looked so cute. You always wear what you like, and you don't care what others think about you. And if you know the answer, your hand is always the first to go up in class. You know what you want and you go after it. Well, I don't know about all that. And even tonight, you're doing your own thing. I'm sorry, Mia. I wasn't trying to ruin your night. If anything, my intent was to ask you out, but I get it. I'll leave you alone now. I hope you have a nice evening, Mia. Mia watched as Josh got up from the couch and made his way to the door. He had the knob turned and was about to walk out when Mia found herself calling out for him to stop. He paused and turned his head to look at her. His gentle blue eyes were calm and inviting. Mia knew there was no guarantee with Josh. She knew this could lead to more heartache, yet his gentle nature made her want to try anyway. I seem to have ordered way too much pizza for myself. Would you maybe want to help me out? And if you stay, I suppose it would only be fair if you get to watch the movie with me, since it's your favorite and all. Josh's eyes immediately lit up and the biggest smile formed on his cute face. He nodded his head enthusiastically and made his way over to the pizza. Mia jumped up and grabbed 2 plates and some napkins. They settled onto the couch together and even did a cheers with their pizzas before eating and starting the movie. Josh looked over at Mia and, with a saucy mustache to boot, said the most cheesy, adorable line Mia had ever heard. "Remember, Mia, no man is a failure who has pizza." Mia giggled and smiled as she took another warm, satisfying bite. Then she snuggled in against his arm as they watched the rest of the movie together. Despite trying to escape celebrating New Year's, it turned out that the new year would be starting off on a bright note after all. That concludes my story, Escaping New Year's. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, please subscribe and share and comment. All your likes and shares and comments help support my podcast, and I love to hear your thoughts on my story. If you'd like to listen on, I will be sharing a short reflection and devotional. There are 2 Bible verses that I felt encompass the story. The first one is Ephesians 4:29, which is, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." And the second one is Proverbs 26:18 through 19. "Just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, 'I was only joking.'" Now here is my short reflection. At any age, teasing and making fun of others is hurtful, especially when it comes from someone you love and never expected to hurt you in that way. Mia's story reminds us that it is okay to be different, and it is also okay not to do what everyone else is doing, especially if you do not feel up to it. Honor your feelings and seek rest. We do not have to be on the go all the time. We also must be more careful of our speech. I know some people find it fun to single out one person, and perhaps they see nothing wrong with their joking around. But let this story be a lesson that words matter. We should work harder to speak words of affirmation that build up one another, not tear each other down. I pray you all have a blessed 2026, and may you celebrate in any form or fashion that feels right to you. Cheers to a Happy New Year!